episode of Buckle Up Boys. We have a lot in store for you tonight. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button down below to stay up to date with all things Buckle Up with the Boys. All gas, no brakes. We want to give a special shout out to our new sponsor, AE Diesel Services, owned by Alex Emmert. If you haven't checked him out yet, check out his services.
How's everybody doing tonight? Another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys. Here we have a familiar face, a handsome motherfucker right here, Josh Mitchell. How are we doing tonight? How are we doing?
Oh man, I missed you. I missed that big, beautiful face of yours, Drew. I really did. I'm happy to be back. Happy to be back, man. Happy to be back with the Buckle Up with the Boys. Took a little hiatus. Sorry, everybody that enjoyed having me on. I'm back now, so you guys can get ready for the banter again.
Yeah, no. And just one shout out before we get into NFL talk here. I want to give a shout out to, again, you heard in the intro, AE Services, Diesel Services, owned by Alex Emmert. We appreciate him as always. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button down below, hit it. You're missing out. There's 393 people that have done it already. So let's just keep adding on to it.
Let's go, boys. Let's get to 400 by the end of the night. Come on, guys.
That would be beautiful. But another disclaimer, because you're going to have questions probably with maybe while we're live or while you watch the episode later. Got in a fight with the puppy. Got me with the claw. So we're damaged goods right now, but we're going to try to make it the best we can.
Hey,
right?
man, me and you both over here too. But let's be honest, you didn't get into a fight with the puppy. You what, the wife threw a frying pan at you? Is the real story?
Oh, my mouth gets me in trouble though. My mouth does.
Oh, we know.
But I missed you so much. But news here coming out of the New Orleans Saints organization. Josh, I don't know if you saw this or not. Alvin Kamara is meeting with Commissioner Roger Goodell on Wednesday in regards to that incident in Las Vegas. Why? It's from February 22 that he got into a fight.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why it's taken so long, but let's be honest, Drew. You and I both know it seems to be a typical, it's like a typical day in the NFL, brother. But let's be honest. Well, if you're a fan of the Saints, if you're a fan of football in general, Alvin Kamara does great things on the football field, whether he's running the ball or catching it. It's going to be tough for the Saints. Granted, they have a new quarterback in Derek Carr, a new system as well. They did sign Jamal Williams, who last year, for you guys out there, did lead the NFL in rushing touchdowns. So that's a good backup to have. And he also used to play the backup role to Aaron Jones in Green Bay. Also, he's a solid guy to have. And if Kamara will more than likely be suspended, the amount of games we're not really sure. If you fantasy goers out there, Jamal Williams is a solid pick, and we'll get into that later. I'm going to touch on a few things, but I think Kamara should serve at least 6 games for what he did, man. They should have came out and handed down his suspension earlier. I don't know why it's been put off. I know he's appealed it. It should have been taken care of a long time ago, in my opinion. It's 22. Well, I mean, come on.
The issue is that you see other athletes that it's happened to in the NFL, and right away, as quick as they possibly can. I mean, we dealt with it. Now marijuana is legal, but if a guy failed a drug test, he got slapped right away. He played a full NFL season, Josh, and now we're meeting with Roger Goodell before the next one.
He played a full season, played a Pro Bowl, you mentioned the guys that have, in the past, when marijuana was illegal, look at Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon, a failed test, missed 4 games. Yep. It went to the point where he's fighting some demons. We all have our own, but the dude couldn't stop, and he missed. His career's over because of it. He missed out on prime time, and let's not forget, when he was a rookie, he led the NFL in receptions and yards. Right. The dude could have been one of the greatest, if not the best. Right. And unfortunately, that time being, he was off the field.
I guess. And we can move on to the next subject, but I just got to throw this out here. And if you're an NFL fan, a fan of any football team, the NFL constantly misses on their punishments. They're all over the goddamn map. But One other thing, and I know you and me love controversy. The show loves controversy.
Yes, they do. It breeds it.
So how do you feel about Sean Payton making the comments he made about Nathaniel Hackett? I don't know if you saw them saying that
What did he say?
One of the worst jobs he's ever seen in the head coaching position. I've never seen a coach go after another coach like this, and it's been on fire all week.
I don't think I've ever seen another coach go at it as well like that, or just add another coach. I've seen coaches, make subtle jabs at players, or organizations.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be honest, though, Joe. I'm gonna throw another question out there. If Sean Payton didn't have the pedigree that he did, would we really give a fuck about what's being said right now?
I always and I know a lot of people, even co-hosts that have been on here, Josh, are high on Sean Payton. I really think if Drew Brees wasn't in the Saints organization, I think he would just be maybe another Nathaniel Hackett. I mean, it's really not hard to coach a team when your offense is led by a Hall of Fame, a top 3 quarterback of all time. I mean,
Drew's a Hall of Famer, and if we want to rank quarterbacks all time, I'd put him in. He's very close, if not my top 5 for sure.
Right.
But let's think about this. Sean Payton, like you said, he inherited a fantastic team, offense and defense. Mm-hmm. It wasn't his scheme that made Drew Brees good. It was Drew Brees was good, and it made Sean Payton's scheme look even better. Like Drew Brees over 5,000 yards, he averaged almost around. He was pretty close to 5,000 a year because of just because of the weapons he had. Mm-hmm. And it's Drew Brees, man. Like he didn't have the best arm in the latter part of his career because of his that gruesome and terrible shoulder surgery and accident that he had. But he was still spot on. He was he didn't turn the ball over. Gave your team a chance to win. But for Sean Payton back to the original question, sorry. Mm-hmm. For Sean Payton to go after another coach like that, I don't care how bad of a job it was. That's just downright disrespectful. And I really think that. Obviously, I think Denver needs to handle that internally. But he's making comments like that, man. That's is John Elway still the president over there?
I don't know if he's still involved or not. I can look that up for later.
We can do that for later. If I'm John Elway and I see that, a suspension is out of the question because Sean Payton is a great offensive mind, and having Russell Wilson, they can gel and things can work.
Right.
But hearing stuff like that, I kind of hope, just a part of me hopes that they do the same shit they did last year.
Well, I don't think, and you can bring all the schemes you want. I do not think the Broncos are going to be even remotely good. Everybody thinks Sean's going to come in, like everybody thinks Rodgers coming into New York is going to make. I really don't think it's going to take a couple years, maybe a year at least. But I don't know. I don't know, Josh. It's just
I'm going to argue with you on that one.
Okay.
With the Jets, the whole Jets thing.
Right.
I've never really been a Russell Wilson fan. Let's put it this way: I don't even like playing with him on Madden. So, even when he was mobile, I've never really been a fan of him. I think he's a pretty boy that tries to play the I'm a small guy. I was a third or fourth round pick. I, didn't get a chance. Let's be honest, man. People have played that card and done way better than you have. Yeah, you might have borderline Hall of Fame numbers. I still don't give a shit. I'm still not a Russ, not sold on Russ. I don't care. But now let's talk about my boy Aaron, Smug Aaron, baby.
Yes.
I think he's going to turn the Jets around. Let's be honest, man. That Jets team overachieved with the quarterback room they had last year, in my opinion. Zach Wilson sucks.
Oh yeah. I mean, one game I think he had a half a yard.
Yeah, it was what they averaged 2.7 something inches in the second half. Like
it was you and me talking about it.
Yeah, that was you and I talking about it. But it's like you bring in Aaron. Granted, he didn't get Aaron got what he wanted. Aaron got the deal. He got where he wanted to go. I don't know if he's trying to follow in Brett Favre's footsteps. We can talk about that too. But let's look at that offense that he has now. He's got 2 legitimate wideouts that are very good. Lazard's there too. Lazard's going to always be Aaron's. Those 2 are there. But let's look at that running game. Once Breece Hall comes back, there's another. I don't know if Breece can catch the ball as good as Aaron, but there's your Aaron Jones again.
Right.
The offensive line is a little bit better. They're young. They're going to take some. They're going to take some. Take some. I guess scuffle. They're going to stumble here and there, but Aaron Rodgers was always that guy. If you didn't pick it up, or if you didn't show up, you're not going to play for me or with me. So that Jets team and that Jets locker room has one option, and that's to figure it the fuck out, or else they're gone, or they're not going to play, man. So I think Aaron's going to bring the best out of them, whether it's going to be good or like it's going in a good way or bad way. They don't have a choice. So yeah, I think that Jets team is a borderline 11 or 12 win team, in my opinion.
What? Whoa. Okay. Yeah. We'll be getting on that later in the show. Wow. 11 or 12 win. Okay. Oh, Josh. Oh boy. All right. Yeah. Also, I just have to throw it out there because someone did bring it up to me, and I think last time Eric was on, we do have a $50 wager with him that the Steelers take AFC East or AFC.
We do have. That's right. We do. It's right.
So we'll get to see what the hell we think about the records.
Well, listen, I know it's never good to see anybody get hurt. Because I've been in those shoes plenty of times, numerous times. Joe Burrow going down to practice the other day is not looking good for Cincinnati. No. And the way he went down, everyone's did anything come out yet? Because last time I saw it, they speculated or assumed it was just the Achilles.
He said that all I saw was a statement, and if people in the comments, if you want to throw it out there, if you've heard different, all I've seen is that he'll be ready for the season. So
I hope so. I mean, I hope, but for the Steelers' sake, I hope he misses a couple games, especially when they play each other. Right. But for the sake of the sport, the sake of the NFL, the sake of football, Joe Burrow needs to be out there. Joe Burrow needs to play. Once again, people have compared Joe to Tom Brady, man. Then the way he goes about his game, the way he goes about his business. Will he ever be Tom Brady? No. But Joey Ice needs to be out there.
Right. No, I don't think. I think they have McCarron or someone as their backup. So, I mean, they're kind of fucked if they don't have Joe Burrow. I'm going to be quite honest to all you Bengals fans out there. You don't have him on the field. I'd say if you don't have him on the field, Josh, by week 4, let's just go bold here. Week 4.
Okay.
The season's done. They're done.
Us being diehard Steeler fans, Drew, I would love to agree with you, but T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon, I'll say something else.
I know.
Granted, that offensive line is still not the best because I'm pretty sure Joe was the most hit quarterback last year.
Right.
That team, man, when he's on, we'll say week 4. If he doesn't make it through week 4 and they go, 2-2 or 1-3, as long as they don't go 0-4, Joe's coming back to that team. Like, all right, we're still going to win this shit. Like,
it's like a rebuild last season, like they had to last season. So
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But want to switch over to other things here. Very interesting information coming out from the San Francisco 49ers organization, Josh. So let me just make sure I get the right name here. I believe it's Nick Bosa. He has not arrived to 49ers camp. And here's a funny thing that comes out from the GM, John Lynch. Okay. He goes, I'd love him to be out on the field. I don't like not having one of our best players here. So what I'm going to pose a question to you, and I'm going to pose a question to all the guests. So as a GM, why the fuck wouldn't you make moves to try to get him out on the field then? If he wants the money, that's the stupidest quote I've ever seen that a guy gives to the press, Josh.
Listen, you got to look at the business side of it though too.
Right.
Drew. I understand, though that team might be a little strapped for cash with the move they made to get McCaffrey. Let's not forget this.
You're right.
Granted, they paid Trey when they drafted him. They got rid of Jimmy G's contract. They got to start. It is. These GMs and owners need to start looking at these players as, don't forget, human beings too, guys. Like, there's a reason Nick's holding out. It's probably a pretty damn good reason because he is literally, I'm going to say, the second best defensive end in the NFL.
I agree with you. I don't know why Myles Garrett's even put it in front of him. The Bosa brothers behind Watt. I have no idea.
Yeah, there you go. So
and then Myles is fourth. I mean, but everybody's high on this fucking guy.
Can we remember that Myles Garrett committed assault on the field with a helmet Granted, it was Mason Rudolph. No one really gives a shit about Mason, but like he ripped that dude's helmet off and hit him, and all of a sudden it's like, and that was towards the end of the season.
Right.
The next year it was forgotten about.
Right.
Like the man, there was assault with a deadly weapon. It was almost premeditated murder at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, and we're looking at this guy like he's, like he's the second coming. I'm like, yeah. Physically he's gifted. He's a genetic fucking freak, but
right.
His head just ain't on right, man. He tried to kill somebody.
No. But no, I hope they make that deal with Bosa because he deserves to.
And if he sits out, that defense is not as good as everyone thinks. That's like let's talk about the Steelers here. That's like, when TJ's hurt, our defense isn't that great. Yeah, it's good. It's not what it could be. It's not what it should be. Let's be honest. So if Bosa's not on that field, man, I know there's going to be a lot of upset players in that locker room, not at Nick, more towards the 49ers in the front office.
Right.
It doesn't look good down the road when it comes time to talk about negotiations and contracts. Those guys might walk.
Right. No, and the other thing coming out of Pittsburgh, you and me both being Pittsburgh fans there, you alluded to it. Kenny Pickett is, kind of really talking more to the press this offseason. I mean, compared to him going in, his first rookie season, he's not going to talk much. But this season, he's saying he wants to go deep. That's the game plan. He wants to go farther down the field. He's sick of the dip and dive. And Josh, I would love to see outside the lines how many times they pass the ball. Just outside the lines, not in the middle of the field from last season. I don't know if I can find that stat, but holy shit.
You might really have to dig deep for that. But I will say this though too. I can understand. I'm going to give both ends of it, being a quarterback here as well. I'm going to give both ends of the spectrum. I can understand them dumbing the playbook down for a rookie quarterback. I get it. You want him to have some sort of success.
Right.
I mean, the dude had 3 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter. We're cool. Let the fucking kid throw the ball down the field. Right. If you go back and look at Pitt, look at his game tape at Pitt. Granted, it's college football. It's ACC, not exactly the best competition. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, everybody's going to say that.
Exactly. I'll argue this to the day we die.
Right.
He wasn't throwing the ball 7 yards and under very often.
No.
And he threw 44 touchdown passes.
Mm-hmm.
Let the man air it out. Everyone's talking about he doesn't have the arm to do it. Bullshit.
I mean, I know I always go back to man. Dude, I hum that fucker with him. And it gets there. You throw it up to Pickens, dude, you're fine. It drove me nuts.
And he's not one of the guys that holds on to the ball very long.
No.
Even in his rookie year, he got it out pretty quick. Granted, the offense was, hey, we're going to go 3 yards and turn around and hope to God he gets the ball up. But no.
Right.
Notoriously, he's been known to get it out quick. He doesn't have a long stroke. He's got a quick release. In my opinion, that's only going to open up Najee Harris. It's only going to open up Freiermuth. You have to go over the top, take the defense off, take the top off a little bit, and then those throws that would have gotten 3 or 4 yards, that did get 3 or 4 yards last year, get 5 to 8, or even a first down. With everyone up on the line expecting those short passes, of course they didn't have any fucking success.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. No, we'll see what comes out of it. But I'll tell you right now, there's one guy that not a lot of people are talking about, and I'm very excited about him, Josh, Darnell Washington. This guy is going to be a freak. They said in practice he's locking down TJ. I'm very excited to see what the hell happens here. I'm very.
I think they did a great job by picking him up because honestly, if they don't trade after that pick, he's gone within a pick or two after that. He really is, right. And I'm kind of. I don't want to say this. I was kind of torn when I saw that because I wanted Joey Porter Jr. so bad, but I looked out that we got him anyway.
Right.
I really think they made the right moves. They shored up the offensive line for Kenny. And dude, I'm telling you what, man, those boys down south are built different now, man. I don't get it.
Right.
They're just different.
Yeah. No, but what I wanted to do here, and we haven't done this in a long time with me and Trevor and Nate. Honestly, we haven't been close to the NFL season. But tonight being the Hall of Fame game, I think it's the NFL season's upon us. So we're going to do some predictions here. We haven't done a lot of betting talk, and people have missed that. So let's fucking throw it in there.
Let's throw it in there.
Another disclaimer: if you are in Florida, Eric did tell me that now FanDuel is legal, so you have an opportunity to go down there. You don't got to go through your bookie. Okay, You can go on FanDuel and have the time of your life. Okay. But, budget yourself a little bit. You don't want to end up like me. You know what I mean? But anyways, Josh, so who do you think, honestly, is going to be the standout team this year? Who is going to win the Super Bowl? Let's do futures here for a minute.
Jeez, man, that's a tough one. There's so many good teams, man. It's hard. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They have the X factor. They have, in my opinion, the best quarterback in the NFL right now, best quarterback in the game.
Right.
I'm going to put if we're going to do top 3 here, I'm going to put them at number 1.
Okay.
Buffalo Bills right behind it, just because of Josh Allen. I mean, he's a gamer. If they can learn to run the ball without other than Josh Allen, I think that's a solid, step in the right direction.
Right.
We might have to go top 5 here.
Well, just to throw this out here, just to kind of spice it up for you a little bit, the projections I got here, and I agree with them to a point. We have the Eagles 11-5. Going to be 11-5.
I think the Eagles stumble.
Okay.
I think they have, and it's not nothing against Jalen Hurts, nothing against any of that team is a fantastic team. They did lose some key pieces on offense and defense.
Right.
They couldn't bring them all back. It's just unfortunate how that works. But I think there's going to be some Super Bowl hangover. I really do, just because
I like that.
Just because of the way they lost and how they lost. I know Jalen is very, very determined to get back to it.
Okay.
But getting back to the Super Bowl doesn't mean you're going to win. So,
right.
I think they stumble. I don't think what's their record? What do they have at 11?
They have 11-5.
I think they struggle to get 10. I really do. I really think they struggle a little bit this year.
What? I agree. I'll ride. I told you I'll ride the horse with you, but we'll see what the fuck happens. Cowboys, though. So
no, Jesus Christ, skip.
They got
next.
the 10.
Next.
They got them 10-6, Josh. This projection is very unrealistic, but kind of realistic at the same time, because there's no team that kind of has a real standout season in these projections here. Like everybody's just kind of.
It seems like everyone's kind of like in the middle of the road kind of deal.
Five teams all at about 11-5, 10-6.
I do not like the Cowboys. I really don't. I think they go 9-7.
Okay, all right.
I don't. I really don't.
10-7 or 9-8 or 10-7.
Sorry, 9-8. 9-8.
Okay.
I think they're going to pull the. They're going to start off the season 5-1 or 6-1, and then all of a sudden just hit that wall like they usually do.
If McCarthy, the drill. No chicken fingers. He's fucked.
I think McCarthy's gone after this year.
Does he get a fucking, gift card to Chick-fil-A?
No.
For shit. All right. Well, all right. All right. And then this is what I'm not going to agree with, and everybody's going to know this when they watch this episode. If you're watching now, the Steelers, I do not agree with them being 9-7 again, or 9-8. I do not agree with that.
No, they are in a tough division. I get it. I was kind of hoping Lamar would walk.
Right.
I have 9-8. Listen, Kenny was. What was he? He was amazing down the stretch in games that he played. Right. And he still turned the ball over way too much. I don't think I think he throws. He was what he had 7 and 9 last year. I think he throws close to 20 or 22 touchdown passes this year.
Okay. And
if he keeps his interceptions in the single digits, they are a 10 win team. They're a wild card. I don't know who they're going to play, but put it down right now, everybody on this podcast and the listeners, whatever. Pittsburgh Steelers are in the playoffs this year.
You don't think they? I still think they take the AFC North.
They're in the playoffs. I'm not saying how they're getting there, but they're in the playoffs.
They're in the playoffs. All right. All right. And then the biggest question I've been waiting to ask you: what are the Jets' record? Because I know you alluded to it, but I want to.
What do they got them on there? I want to hear this.
They got them at Josh. They got them at 9-8.
Nah, fuck that. No way. No. 11-6.
11-6.
11-6.
I knew you were
going 11-6. I'm telling you, Aaron took a terrible Green Bay Packers team last year, and damn near put them in the playoffs.
Well, I don't know. Ever since
11-6, man, 11-6. I'm telling you, 11-6. And
how far did they go? Putting you
It all-
on the
it-
fucking
it-
spot tonight.
It really, damn, man, it's tough. I think it all depends how the playoff tree around them works. They're gonna win the wild card,
Okay.
losing the divisional round.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
I'm
I'm
not.
okay.
They're not. They're not going to go make a Super Bowl run this year, but he will put them in the playoffs. He will. They're going to win a wild card game. I really want to say they're going to lose in the divisional round, but if they got a match, Aaron's pretty solid against every team. Not to mention if he brings out the belt again. So
Right.
it all depends who they play in that second round. It really does. They could potentially, make it to a championship game. I'm not going to say anything,
If I think that's just the biggest question this year. I would say that the New York Jets, the Kansas City Chiefs, are they going to win the Super Bowl again? And then
Kansas City will be in the Super Bowl.
Oh boy, do you see a rematch?
No, I told you the Eagles aren't. I told you the Eagles are going to scuffle.
Who's coming from NFC?
I don't know. I haven't really. That's kind of. Who do you think? Who do you think over there?
I mean, besides the Eagles, I mean, let's see here. I got to look here. I would say, Josh, they have a strong push for me. I would say, I mean, every other team, it's not even close to right. I mean, what I would love to say, and if anybody's not seen it, I've already commented on it multiple times. If you've not seen the quarterback documentary on Netflix, you have to watch it.
It's fantastic. I love it.
After watching Kirk Cousins, I would like to see the Vikings. I really would.
I would too. I really would, but I think they let their most dynamic player, second most dynamic player, walk.
He's on the Patriots.
Yeah, fuck New England. By the way, for all you Raider fans out there, Eric, that was a fumble.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
Oh,
okay.
Here we go. Okay. Now,
Yes.
I'm gonna ask you here now. I got a couple.
Yes.
Does Jimmy G turn the Does Jimmy G turn the Las Vegas Raiders around? He's been to a Super Bowl, mind you. When he took him to that Super Bowl, he did have Debo, he did have Kittle, and he had two running backs that damn near went for 1,000 yards.
I don't think he's even going to be on the field, Josh. We're still questioning what the fuck's going on with his foot.
Okay, all right. So take that out of the equation.
Okay.
He signed what, a 3-year deal?
3-year deal.
So maybe he doesn't play the whole year, whatever. A healthy Jimmy G.
Yes. I don't think.
Okay, all right. What do you think? What do you think a healthy Jimmy G with the Las Vegas Raiders gives them? Saying that Jacobs is healthy, all that. Jacobs is even on the fucking field at this point.
I go 8 and 9.
Ooh, you just pissed off a lot of people. Yeah, I was never a fan of Jimmy G. I was, I think if he would have stayed in, New England, he would have had a. I mean, granted, I can't really knock him. He went to a Super Bowl with San Francisco, but was also the same scheme he had with Belichick, and things haven't been the same since then, obviously. But I'm not sold on him, man. I'm not.
You're going to bring and I'm going to say this again, and I've talked to so many Raiders fans, and they know my feeling towards them. So they petition Hunter Renfrow. He could potentially be on the trade block. Okay, so you got that. You take that piece out. Okay, you got Josh Jacobs. He's pissed off. You sign him, or no?
Franchise tagged him.
Franchise tag him. You fuck him off. Okay, you kick out your franchise quarterback in 9 years. You do that. You bring in Jimmy G, who can't get over the porn stars. Okay, you bring him in, and you got Davante Adams now wondering how many fucking yards he's going to have this season.
You got Davante Adams wondering how many, not just yards, but targets.
Right.
Jimmy G doesn't, and we're talking about Dinkin and Duncan earlier. Jimmy G doesn't throw the ball more than 15 yards on the field. And that Raiders offense is, deep ball, medium deep ball. There's not really too many underneath throws.
Right. I don't think Davante has over 1,000 yards, Josh.
I don't think so either. I think he has under 1,000 yards and maybe 7 touchdowns.
Sorry, keep going. I interrupted you there.
No, you're good, man. Let's not forget that Raiders their pass blocking was the worst in the NFL last year.
Right.
And Jimmy G's not a healthy mobile quarterback like he used to be.
Right.
So I think, who's their backup?
Oh, fuck.
Is it still that Stedman dude?
I thought they shipped him. I gotta fucking look. Hold on here.
Well, at this point,
just to throw this out, Josh, while I'm looking that up. So,
Okay.
Did you hear about the Cleveland Browns trashing their charter plane?
no,
Just
I did
completely
not.
they just trashed the living fuck out of it.
Like after partying it all night or what?
I don't know what I believe it was for a team function, and they literally trashed the staff of this company. It's so fucked off at them. They caused so much destruction in this charter plane, and I don't even know what that. I've hit the tip of the story, but I was just looking. I was like, it's just a class act by the Cleveland Browns. You're a shit team.
They're a shit team. They're a shit organization. I'm sure Deshaun Watson had all his masseuses on there for everybody too. I just, I feel bad for anybody that goes to Cleveland. I loved Baker Mayfield in college, and then all of a sudden, first off, I don't think he should have went 1-1 to Cleveland. But when he did, I was like, yeah, he got paid. Now he's gonna suck. And right on, brother. And speaking of Baker, Tampa Bay went from the GOAT to Kyle Trask and Baker Mayfield. And the reports out of that training camp is not good.
Jesus Christ. And the pilot of the plane said it was the most disgusting flight he's ever been a part of. So when he's trying to fly the plane, you got these fucking jackasses in the back doing God knows what.
I can only imagine. And
when they landed, the team got off the plane, and the staff that comes on, I guess the way it's set up, staff comes on and cleans it for, I don't know if it's for them to go back or for another, other guests to come on. But he literally apologized to the staff saying, I'm so sorry that you have to deal with this disgusting mess. I don't know what the fuck they did back there, but he's trying to fly a fucking plane.
There's got to be some pictures leaked here very soon. But my thing is too, have a little bit. You're a professional, not just a professional athlete. You're a professional.
Right.
Have some respect for somebody else's property, man.
Right. No, and
they're not going to get. You know what they're going to say? They're going to have a team meeting and be like, "All right, guys, don't do that shit again."
Right.
All right, coverages. Here we go.
And just to really add to the Patriot Raiders, they signed Brian Hoyer to a 2-year deal.
Is that who it was?
Yep.
So we got the Las Vegas Patriots.
Yes.
Huh. They did Carr wrong so bad last year, man. They really did.
Do you see him blossoming with the Saints?
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet you. I'm saying that dude's got no pressure. Okay. There was always it's always Carr's fault. He's going into a team that had Jameis Winston as their starting quarterback last year.
Yeah, you're right. Andy Dalton too.
The Red Rocket needs to retire.
He always plays fucking terrible.
Oh Jesus, he's terrible. It's you put him against the Steelers. You can put him against the Steelers with the 85 Bears, and it's still going to be a win for the Steelers.
Yeah.
But point being, he walks into a team, an organization, a free man.
Right.
He's got weapons. Granted, Kamara, you know how that situation. But he's got Michael Thomas. He's got Olave now.
Right.
Let's not forget he's walking into a top 5 defense. I read a stat the other day. I think the best defense Carr ever had was 27th in the NFL.
Yep.
So, and I think that was the year he broke his leg or his back or something like that.
It was a shit show. I mean, all the seasons were kind of fucking disasters, but that one was pretty.
Yeah.
But just to shed some light over here. So Josh is going to go ahead and take over the fantasy side of things just for a little bit, because I know that we got some fantasy leagues kicking off here shortly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is the first year DB has been involved in any of those. So
wow.
Wait for the fucking shit show, buddy. Wait for the
DB,
goddamn.
you need DB. Send me a link. I'll show you guys how to play some fantasy football. Anyway,
Keep going.
like we talked about earlier, DB. We talked about it just a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
we got some sleepers. We got some who we expecting to be, you know, the breakout guys. I figured we'll touch on it a little bit the next couple weeks coming up.
Okay.
I really just wanted to let's start with the quarterbacks. We'll work our way through the positions. Keep it simple. Keep it sweet.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with my top 5 fantasy quarterbacks.
Okay.
And PPR, whatever, same shit. Don't really matter. Whatever league you're in, Patty H always number 1. You kind of hard to beat that.
Right.
Number 2, you could give or take here. These two are interchangeable. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
They have the rushing ability. All 3 of those guys technically have the rushing ability. Pat doesn't do it so much anymore. But Allen, you know, he's going to run the ball a lot. Jalen Hurts, he's going to steal touchdowns in the red zone. Excuse me, in the red zone. He always did. I had Miles Sanders last year in one of my leagues. It was kind of tough because when they got to the end red zone, it was Jalen's game. Now after those 3. There's a lot of ways you could go with this. Obviously, Joe Burrow, if he's healthy. Sorry, he ain't there yet.
Oh, I'm drafting his ass. I don't give a fuck.
That's fine. Joe Burrow, I'm still putting there. Joe, even if he is hurt to start the year, I would take him, you know, probably in the 6th or 7th round and stash him on my bench just to kind of, you know, hide.
Okay.
But let's not forget, Justin Fields was QB 5 or 6 last year, I believe, depending on how you scored in what league you're in.
Right.
And he threw 17 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. That running ability from Justin Fields. There was a point where Cole Kmet took a snap and threw Justin Fields a pitch last year. And I had him on one of my leagues, and it was a league I ended up winning, actually. And it was unbelievable what that man did with his feet. Now, you could say this next one's kind of a stretch for me, but he's close to my heart, and it's not KP. I'm sorry. If you want somebody who's going to be reliable, who's going to get you, you know, 275 to 300 yards a game with a touchdown or 2, probably an interception as well, Kirk Cousins, man.
Yes, sir.
Captain Kirk has always been reliable.
Yeah.
Serviceable, mind you, if you want to do that. Now, if you're going that super flex, you play in the 2 quarterback leagues, Kirk's a good guy to have. If you have no other options for a second quarterback, I believe Kirk is a great guy to have because he's going to get you, you know, the 275 to 300-yard mark. Probably going to be a little more this year because the running game is not going to be as potent. It's not going to be as explosive. Right. So I think they're going to have to rely on Kirk more. They did just draft Jordan Addison.
Yes, sir.
H2P, baby. Playing with the USC. Fuck him for that. Anyway. H2P. H2P and Justin Jefferson and tight end TJ Hawkinson. No one remembers that. Everyone forgets about that trade.
Yep.
So Captain Kirk has got a lot of weapons, and I think Captain Kirk can steal the show. I really do. It's unfortunate how their season ended last year. They were the, you know, worst 12-win team of all time, in my opinion. But they shored up the defense. They got some key pieces there, other than, you know, Addison. They got some key pieces on defense. I think Kirk has. Oh shit! I think Kirk has a career year. I really do. After watching how he prepares and goes about everything, I really think Kirk is gonna you know, have a career year. I think he's gonna do well. I think Justin Jefferson is gonna set the receiving record.
Right. Oh. Okay. All right.
I mean, dude, you even saw it in that video. There were times where Kurt dropped back and said, fuck it, JJ's down there. That Buffalo game.
Yes.
It was 4th and 18. There's not too many, like Kirk said, there's not too many plays you drop for 4th and 18.
Right.
Not too many plays you drop for 4th and 5. Let's be honest here. And he just said, fuck it, I'm going to throw it up. He was triple covered, and somehow that man took the ball out of Buffalo's defender's hands for a first down.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of good quarterbacks. I think Derek Carr has kind of a surprising year. Derek Carr has always been in the top 15 range.
Okay, all right.
Pretty solid. I mean, with the weapons he has had. Don't get me wrong.
Correct.
Go back and look at those teams. That man has had some weapons.
Yeah.
And, you know, I guess all he ever did was set every passing record for the Raiders in franchise history.
Right.
Might not be the winningest quarterback in franchise history, but he's got the most passing yards, touchdowns, game-winning drives. He actually leads the NFL in game-winning drives in the fourth quarter. Actually, I think it might even be NFL history. It could be pretty close to that.
Yeah.
There's just so many ways to go about it, and I just think he, with a better offensive line, people that actually believe in him, because like the last 4 to 5 years of Derek Carr's career has been he's the problem.
Yep.
You know, as soon as he signed that big extension, that next year it wasn't that great. They wanted him run out of Vegas or Oakland at the time.
Yeah,
It was sad, man. That dude, he never did anything wrong.
and you listen to him.
He's the most humble,
right,
competitive guy that, you know, he's the guy that I want on my team. We'll put it that way. He's the guy that I want running my team.
Right.
If he had a front office and a coaching staff that backed him, Gruden loved him, and then Gruden decided to send some not so good emails.
right. Fucking disaster. But no, when he did that press conference of him and he started, getting emotional, I kind of was like, okay, I fucking hate the Raiders, but I kind of feel for the guy. He's very passionate. He kind of has nobody around him. And I don't have anything else awful to say about him. I don't think he ever got a fair shake. I think Josh McDaniels had a mindset when he got in there. This fucker's gone while I'm here. I'm not having 100%. Him here while I'm here.
And he got another Patriot to play quarterback.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know, man. That organization is a floating dumpster fire, and
it is. It's a disaster. But I guess, Josh, top running backs that you would go in regards. Do you have? Anybody?
Well, what league we playing in here? DB, we in a PPR?
I'm still learning it. I believe the one I'm in, I have. There's running backs. I think there's two quarterbacks.
PPR. Well, usually each league has two running backs, but PPR is the point per reception.
Okay. I believe that is active.
Okay, so if we're on a PPR, one of the top guys I would take is about to get suspended for 6 games.
That's who I was going to. If it's a deciding factor, if whatever.
Also, McCaffrey's always going to be either league. McCaffrey, either league. Once again, Saquon Barkley. Don't sleep on Najee Harris either, boys.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I don't want you guys to sleep on him. I wouldn't take him in the first or second round. To be honest with you, if he falls that third or fourth round, pick him up. He's going to get you his touchdowns. I'm not worried about the rushing 1,000 yards anymore. That doesn't really mean shit. He's going to get you his touchdowns. He's going to get you his catches. Dalvin Cook he still got it, man. Like, he had a hell of a year last year. I just don't get why Minnesota let him go. I really don't. I'm a little upset about that. They did him wrong. I guess that could factor in how Minnesota does in the playoff and Super Bowl run contention. I think Dalvin Cook was too explosive. I don't know if he was asking for too much money. I'm not sure.
Right. But how much of a de-appreciation that position? We've talked on it probably 2-3 weeks in a row now, Josh. But what the hell do you think's going on with the running back position? Just tying that in with the fantasy talk here. Very underappreciated. Very
depreciated. They're almost treating these guys like used cars, bro. They're not like, these guys are Zeke. Well, look at Zeke, prime example.
Yep.
Zeke led the league, I think, his first 3 or 4 years, and not just rushing yards, but like attempts. Right. The dude got the shit kicked out of him. And no wonder, like, when he's supposed to be in his prime, he's breaking down. He's not as fast. It's just like they wear these guys out. They ride them. It's like a horse, man. They ride them until they buck, and you buck, and fuck you. See you later.
Right.
Right. They get treated like it's, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of the right term, but they just get so wrote off after 3 or 4 years. The life expectancy of an NFL running back right now, I believe, is like under 3 years, right. And I think it's only getting shorter.
Right.
You have these guys like Derrick Henry. First off, is a genetic freak. Throw him out of this conversation.
Right.
He's 6'2", 250 pounds coming at you. Runs a 4.5 40. Like, the guy should go ahead.
Yeah.
Look at guys like, we'll say the Saquon, another genetic freak. Christian McCaffrey, the great white hope, genetic freak. Right. These guys that are get taken in the 4th and 5th round as a running back, they're lucky if they make a practice squad.
Right.
You know, these guys were, you know, all conference, first team, whatever it may be in college, and they're getting taken in the 4th or 5th round. Like, you know, we'll get him for a practice squad dummy, or we'll add him to depth. He can return kicks. Of all the positions, you know, our running backs. The game it's a passing league now. I get it, but if you get a running back that can catch, it's just another extension, like a swing pass is another extension of a sweep or a run game. So like the reason these guys, the reason that they think these athletes and these players are so depreciated is just absolutely ass backwards to me.
Right. Well, you know, and if nobody's ever seen it, it was when Jerome was still playing. I remember I was a little kid watching it. They did a documentary. They followed him after a football game after he got home. He couldn't wipe his ass. He couldn't go up the steps. He had a guest bedroom downstairs that he stayed in after game days because he couldn't make the stairs. It just pains me that the running backs are just treated like shit.
Like I said, they ride these guys till they break, and then when they break, I understand you know, in an organization, it's a business. I understand you got to have that next man out mentality, but like to see running backs live more than 5 or 6, not live. Sorry, that was the wrong term. Running backs
playing life,
playing life 5 or 6 years. You got to have these guys. Oh, is he a Hall of Famer?
Right.
Why? Because he played 6 years.
Right.
It's unbelievable how much they just beat the shit out of these guys.
Yeah, no, there's no.
And like I said, minus Derrick Henry.
Right.
These guys aren't gigantic in stature, and what they're doing, running in to the biggest guys in the middle of the field as fast as they can, as hard as they can. Like, of course, these guys got brain problems, man.
Right. No, and it just one thing that bothered me, Josh, was it's turned into a point that, like the NBA a little bit, we're kind of seeing the big men still be a factor, but you know, the big men, they're not drafting as much in NBA, and I don't know if that's a fair comparison, but I think it's going to turn into who gives a fuck about the running back? Who gives a fuck who's back there? I hope we don't get to that point. You know what I mean?
Because you look at NFL history. There's been so many talented. There's so many guys in the Hall of Fame that played running back. Like
right.
You know, it's a position it's like the fullback. Like I get the fullback didn't have much value.
Right.
It definitely has zero value in today's game.
Right.
But like it's tough to see positions that have been so crucial to the game just fall off the wagon. Just vanish.
And the other thing that fucks me off. So you see the thing going on with Jonathan Taylor while we're on the running back situation. Irsay and him. Oh, what?
I don't have social media anymore, Drew. So no, I don't.
So Irsay, we already have touched on it multiple times with the Colts, one quarterback away. But now they're fucking with the running back. Irsay saying he's not going to pay Jonathan Taylor. It's become a whole disaster. So I guess what teams, out of these that I have listed here for you, could you see him maybe ending up on? Chicago Bears, the Rams, the Ravens, or he might end up with the Dolphins?
I think the Bears are a better opportunity there.
I mean, it's a fucking shitstorm. Like, do you see, like, the best guy, Josh, statistically, except Derrick Henry and maybe Saquon, it's basically fighting for his career. He wants to stay in Indianapolis, but this fucking guy, he doesn't want to fucking pay him. I mean, it's just.
I don't get it. Maybe because they think like they're replaceable. A good running back's a dime a dozen, man.
No,
a good running back doesn't fumble. A good running back catches the ball,
right?
And a good running back keeps your quarterback safe.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget those guys got to block some big dudes.
Swiss Army knives. Yep.
You have to be.
Yep.
So for them to sit there and say we're not going to pay him because he's going to get hurt, how the fuck do you know? Everyone gets hurt in the NFL. Give him a shot at Tramadol. He's out there in 2 days.
Right, Patrick Mahomes' foot. I mean, we don't really.
that dude's got something hurt with him every game. He's like, we're all right.
Right.
I mean, granted, he's not getting hit every play, but like,
right.
Are you not going to pay Patrick?
Yeah. You know what I mean? I just, and I think we saw it in our own organization when Ben came in, Bill Cowher, he was running. He just ran the ball. That's all he wanted to do was throw. And Ben comes in, they change the, the wave, the generational thing of running the ball first, they're pass first now. But I mean, still they incorporated Willie Parker and Jerome. I don't know. You don't have a fucking quarterback that can actually throw the fucking ball. So in that instance with the Colts, what the fuck are you doing getting rid of basically your whole offense?
I mean, they're putting they're. I mean, shit. They just gave Anthony Richardson the key to this fucking city. There,
that doesn't work out. Oh.
No, we've all seen the guys that have the 1 year. I don't even want to say wonder because his stuff wasn't even that great at Florida that year. But
right.
We've seen the guys have the 1 year wonder. Mitch Trubisky,
right?
Prime fucking example. God rest his soul, Dwayne Haskins.
Right.
The guys that go out and have these 1 years in college.
RG3.
The guy, he won a Heisman. He's pretty fucking good.
He got hurt.
I think in today's game, RG3 is a stud.
Yep. Lamar Jackson. Yep.
Yep. He's a more accurate, better passing version of Lamar.
Yep.
But I just you're gonna put all your eggs into the Anthony Richardson basket.
Concerning.
The Colts are gonna have 3 wins if they're gonna do that.
They're projected 4-13.
That sounds about right.
Okay.
But they're one quarterback away, so
one quarterback away.
They don't get me wrong, they drafted the most athletic quarterback since Cam Newton.
I would agree with that. We were high on him draft night. Oh yeah. Yep.
I wouldn't say I'm high on him. I know he's a genetic and athletic freak, but right. His job isn't to go out and run a fast 40 and jump a great broad jump. His job is to go out and deliver the ball on time, protect the ball, and win games.
Right.
You're going to tell me Kirk Cousins got drafted off his fucking 40 time?
Right.
You're going to tell me Tom Brady was the GOAT because he ran a 5.8 or 5.65 in his 40?
Right.
Come on. Right. It's all about it's up here and up here. The intangibles come after that.
Right. No, I agree, Josh. I mean, it's just becoming a depressing thing. I mean, me, Trevor, and Nate, we talked about it. It's just we don't know, I guess, what's going to happen with that position. And we talked about it last week. Najee, coming out about it a little bit there about he didn't go too far. He just said he before he even said the comment, because that's just what the Steelers have. They just draft good people. It's this isn't a reflection on the Steelers or Mike Tomlin or anybody involved with the Steelers, the Rooneys, but he's just like the position's appreciated, and he's kind of worried when his contract comes. That's what I'm thinking when he says.
I also don't think as much shit as the Rooneys got and Tomlin got, they dodged a serious bullet when they let Le'Veon Bell walk.
I think so.
I really do, because we all saw what happened after that.
Yeah.
Not to mention he signed with the Jets for a lesser amount of money. Anyway, first off.
Disaster.
Yeah, dumpster fire.
Nice.
I think Najee will get what he has deserved.
Okay.
When that time comes. We got some time till that time comes. But I also think having Jaylen Warren as his backup is going to help a little bit.
Yes.
And not playing with a fucking broken foot.
Getting the shit kicked out of him. Yep.
But I think Najee will get what he's rightfully deserved. I'm not saying he's going to get this ridiculous contract because, it just doesn't happen as a running back, which is the only one that has is Zeke.
Right.
And, he was so broken and beat down that, everyone's like, oh, it's a terrible contract. Well, you guys got to go back and look at his track record.
Right.
You guys got to go back and look the workload he took in college, the workload he took as soon as he got to the NFL, because he didn't sit.
Right.
That son of a bitch played from day one and kept playing.
Yep.
So You got to look at workload. You got to look at production. You got to look at body type and play style. Zeke was a tank, man. Zeke just put his head down. Like, if he was a little bit more elusive and decided to, hey, maybe I'll run out of bounds this time instead of lower my shoulder and try and get 5 more yards. maybe he lasts a little longer. I know Najee is bigger than Zeke, probably a little faster than Zeke as well, but Najee plays it smart. I've noticed that. He's not taking the big hits. He's not well, mainly because he's not letting people hit him. He's either jumping over him or stiff arming him. But I think he does it smart. I think he's gonna have a long career in the NFL just because he plays it smart and the way the offense is run with the Steelers.
Right on. No, I agree. I mean, I just think highly of Najee for all he does for the community and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But Josh, anything else you want to throw out there for me, buddy? Come on, what do you got? I've been questioning you all fucking night here. I mean, what?
No, dude, listen, man. It's been a few months, brother.
I know.
You can ask all the questions you want.
All right. No,
I'll say this.
Yes.
I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back on the show. It's an honor to be back on the show with you, Drew.
Yeah.
You know, I remember way back in January when we talked about doing it. It was fun. I had to take a little leave of absence because some people, things happen. We don't need to get into that unless I really get drunk or mad one of these nights. And then we can get into it.
Right.
But for all those fans out there, thank you for getting the views up, getting the time viewed up. We appreciate it. We really do. We thank you for that. It takes a lot. It doesn't really take. It takes a lot to get out, get on here, and do this. Drew does a lot of what's the word I'm looking for here? Promotion. Drew, yeah, here we go. He does a lot of promotion. He does a lot of research on the stuff we talk about every night. Drew's always paying attention. He's a great host. Everybody, I know. That was
motherfucker goes past here every time. You're trying to have a nice moment here, and I'm sorry, that fucking guy just ruined it. He's the son of a. So when he drives past this house again, we're gonna have a fucking problem. That just pissed me off because you were hard.
He's overcompensating for something. But anyway,
piece of shit, he ruined that fucking moment.
But no,
I'm gonna have to eat soundproof.
He does a lot of promoting. He does a lot of research, and I know sometimes Drew, you and I have talked about it. We get a lot of flack for being hotheads or just. Just being hotheads, and if you don't like it, then you can fuck off and go watch another podcast first off.
Right.
So I'm happy to be back, and I will be back for the foreseeable future, and I'm looking forward to meeting all you beautiful people.
Yeah, no, and we're happy to have you back. If you're new to the podcast, if you're to this point in the episode, Josh and Josh and Eric, but preferably Josh, he was a guest on here. If you haven't watched that episode about his journey through the sport of baseball. Please go watch it. It was one of the most fun episodes I've had in a long time. Very colorful. I think it's still no draft night took it, but that's second. Your second longest episode.
Hey, I'm just gonna say this too. If you plan on watching that with children in the room, don't.
No, but it was no. We had, but no, we're happy to have you back, and whenever you're available, have us be a part of your night. And we got you, Trevor, Nate will be back next week. Hopefully Cole Peterson will be coming. We got a lot of guests lined up here in the fall. We'll talk after because I don't want to ruin that excitement for people out there. But it's just been an honor and a privilege. There's really not much else going on in NFL world right now. Madden does release on the 15th, so if you haven't pre-ordered it yet, go fucking get it so I can kick your ass on there. All right. Not you.
Listen, we're gonna have to do a live stream one of these nights, just me and you. We chop it up, whatever, cross table, however many people we want. Like I'm saying, in the same room.
Oh, okay.
And then we're going to wax that. I'm going to show you how to play Madden.
All right.
You and I are going to sit down, whether it's in your living room or mine, we're going to sit down and we're going to go at it.
I would I wouldn't want anything else. I would love to do that. I would.
I'm going to embarrass you on your own show.
Well, we have a couple Jack and Cokes there flying. We'll get some good commentary in there for the beautiful people out there.
Listen, I'm going to show you how to throw it deep with Kenny.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But, anything else, Josh, in the sports world?
In the sports world, man?
Football-wise?
You know, I'm kind of off of the baseball topic. We can get into that at a different time, but
Okay.
we can talk about that stretch, that roller coaster, I should say. But
Yeah.
honestly, man, I'm looking forward to football. I'm looking forward to fantasy. I'm looking forward to be back on the show, just talking sports in general, man.
Yes.
I really am.
Yeah. No, and next week we'll have more insight on, what we think is going to have our projections next week. I'm going to have the boys come in with theirs, kind of more of a full list out there. We'll have some future bets coming out as well, because I'll have all the guys coming in. We're going to be full hands on deck here with the NFL news. Might be a little MLB. Trevor might come in with that, but more primarily NFL talk. But no, I want to tell everybody out there, I appreciate you as always. Josh, we did not get the 400 during the episode. I apologize.
Anyway,
Wait, what?
Are we close?
Let's see here. This is what I love about it. It's just whatever the fuck we want to do, you just do it. 393. No, listen, I'm happy to have you back.
You seven motherfuckers out there, wake up. Look at it for 5 freaking minutes. All I want you to do.
Yep. No.
We'll get to 4 next week.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure as always. So I'll sign us off here, Josh. We'll have a little conversation after. I want to give a shout out to AE Diesel Services for sponsoring this episode. If you haven't checked them out yet and you have any diesel trucks, any equipment really at all that you need, fixed at all, head down to Alex Emmert. He does a hell of a job there. He also has a service truck that will come out to where you're, broken down or whatever the hell you got going on with machinery. He will take care of you. And we just appreciate Alex giving his time and efforts into being a part of the show and promoting us and sponsoring us. So I want to give a shout out to him. I want to give a shout out to all the subscribers out there, Josh, and all the co-hosts and all the guests we've had in the past. So have a good night. Have a good day. Stay safe out there. All gas, no breaks. And this was another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys. Peace.
See you, boys.